Excellent. I'm checking my audio mixer. Mic aux is displaying waves. Be hopeful. So things are good. एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भव निर्वैर काल मूर्त अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच वाहिगुरु 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 जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह। नानक सहज मिलै जग जीवन नजर करो निस्तारा एक अरदास पाठ कीरत की गुरु रामदास रखो शरणाई। Okay, good evening. Welcome back to In the Code. This is January 21st, 2025, 9:04 p.m. and a pretty unexpected session. This session was not supposed to be happening today, but and I'll get to that later. But if you've clicked on this video looking at the title and you like what is happening for the first minute or so, that's just how live streams flow here. However, I'm not going to waste a lot more time. If you're struggling with a project where you have an Illustrator file and you have a bunch of artboards, right? You were I don't know if you call it lucky or unlucky, but you were in a position where you had a very good designer to work with, and she or he gave you perfect artboards, right? Because this is how you should make designs, right? You shouldn't just do things all over the place. Everything is good. And you try importing this file into After Effects. Okay, it will not work, and I will show you how it will work with the vanilla way, like right out the bat, what you should do inside Illustrator to make it work. And towards the end I will show a smarter way to do it, but it uses a paid plugin called Overlord from Battleaxe, so that will be later. But first, our basics, our vanilla fundamentals are more important. So this is your Illustrator file. It has one layer. Okay, I'm just gonna from the start just take this as it is. It has just one layer. It has 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 artboards, and all of them has layers in it, okay, underneath. So this is how the layer is. I'm going to come into After Effects and let me see if I can find a default workspace. Okay, you come in here, you double click to import, and locate this file. You come in here and you would say, oh, I have to keep this, right? Or composition, import as composition. I want to retain layer sizes. I click on retain layer sizes and I say import, and what will happen is this kind of nightmare. Let me go up this. So what you've gotten is one composition with just one single layer inside, and if I was to open this composition up, what you have is you have this. So for some reason After Effects has decided to use this one artboard, and there are no other contents, and you can't do anything with this layer. Okay, so definitely this is not the way to do it. Okay, you have to make sure, just get to the crux of it, that every single thing inside your Illustrator file has to be a separate layer when you're taking it inside After Effects. Right now what you see is this is one layer, and then you have all of this stuff. But there is one thing which is more important to be looking at in this particular file. That might not be the case for you, but here it is. See, at the beginning I said you have a good designer you're working with. Well, that good designer has made sure that everything is in a square, and the way you do that to restrict things inside a rectangle, inside Photoshop, inside Illustrator, is by using something called as clipping masks, which is evident from these layers, right? You see clip group, then there is this, which is just the color. I'm going to delete that. So there are clip groups, and there's one group which is hidden and which is actually empty. So I don't know what that is. I'm going to just go ahead and delete this. Okay, so these clip groups is a problem, is that you're not going to be able to do anything with this inside of After Effects. And this whole process, you would ask, why do you have to do it? It's just how After Effects is expecting you to have your Illustrator file set up, your artwork layer set up, in order for you to animate it the way you want to inside After Effects. By the way, this pink thing that you see is because I don't have these fonts. Which font is this? TT whatever. Can I just go to type and font? There should be a manage fonts, resolve missing fonts, replace fonts. I'm just gonna replace this with Roboto. Go, type, resolve missing fonts, replace fonts. Can we not select all of them? Fonts in documents, this is missing, right? This one. So this you replace it with what? Roboto medium. Yeah, done. Why isn't it doing it? Okay, a little bit of digress here, but let me just see if why is this not doing it. Find, yeah, found it. Change all. Okay, oh, change all. Yeah, okay, good. So that was the thing, right? I didn't have the fonts. That was looking a bit weird. Anyway, clip groups, right? You want to come in here and release clipping mask. Right click on your artwork, or you can select it here, whatever it is, select here, and you cannot right click here. So right click here and say release clipping mask. Now what this does is, interestingly, I'm going to undo it. Look at this layer here. Okay, I'm going to zoom in here. So when I say right click release clipping mask, what it does is it releases a rectangle, which is what was the bounds of the clipping mask, and then underneath all of the layers, right? And then you have this thing which is actually going out here. Now this is something not something we're concerned about, because inside After Effects is something is actually going outside of your bounds. It is anyway going to be cut, right? But inside of Illustrator you put a clipping mask just because it's a visual platform. You're visually displaying things. So that's that. Now you can come in here, you can delete this clipping mask. You don't need it. Don't delete it directly, because right now this is selected. So first select this, and then instead of deleting, click on this button here, the delete icon. Okay, now I'll quickly do this for all the others. Release clipping mask. I'm going to select wherever the rectangle went, this rectangle here, and I'm going to delete it. Here I'm going to come and say release clipping mask, and this is the rectangle, delete it. Release clipping mask. Now this is making a big mess in my layer stack, but I'm going to fix it. So don't worry. Release, delete, release clipping mask, and delete. Two more. Okay, so now you have all of these layers which got released as a, you released the clipping mask. Now what should be the next step from here? Well, the next step here is, if you were to come in here and come in here, select this, and there is this option, right? You can come in here and select on this hamburger menu and say, wait, you can't see. So you can come in here, select on this hamburger menu and say release to layers sequence. What this does is it makes all of these layers within this, all of these groups within this layer into a layer. But I don't want to do that as of now. Okay, what I want to first do is I'm going to come in here and select all of the layers which are in my first artboard. Now this is going to be a bit of a task. So what I can do is I can come in here and open my artboard. So window, artboard, and can you lock artboards? Artboard, what does this do? What is this? Arrange all artboards. Okay, no. So I guess what you got to do is be careful with this. So it is these things, right? The grids which are extending beyond. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select these grids, all of them, Control 2 to lock them temporarily, and we'll do something about them. So they're overflowing into the artboards, which is causing a problem when I'm selecting. So I've locked them with Control 2. Now I can come in here and marquee over my first artboard layers, right? All of these layers, I'm going to say Control G. So that's going to group them into one layer, which is here. Okay, this one layer. Then come in here, select all of these, Control G, group it, select all of these, Control G, group it. This is not mandatory, you can not do it as well. I'm going to lock this, what I've already grouped, but this is just a good solid way of doing it. I'm going to lock it again. This, I'm going to lock this as well. Okay, we're selecting something here, so be careful when you're selecting. I hope everything is visible on the screen. Control G to group it. Okay, we're gonna select. Okay, what we can do is once we've grouped, we can immediately lock it. So you see, by all on the side, all my layers are getting reduced because we're grouping things, so it's not so much of a mess. And again, you can come in here and lock this. So select this, Control G to group, Control 2 to lock, and I guess these are standard shortcuts. I don't think I've set any custom here. So Control G, Control 2 to lock, and the final one I say Control G, Control 2 to lock. Okay, now I have it this way where everything is locked and everything is in a neat group. Now the only thing that is left to be done is I have to add the grids that are behind. So I can say Alt Control 2 and you will see everything got unlocked. Now what I can do is I can select this and I will just see which group is what. So this is the first, and I say Control X this, come in here, Control Shift V, and we can say Control Shift, what was the form of transfer, arrange, send to back was Shift Control, did that only. Okay, so that is this, and I have you cannot. So wait, I say Control X, I come into this group and say Control Shift V. Okay, that doesn't work. So now here is the point where you have to separate these into layers. So you come in here, I select this hamburger menu, and you again cannot see it. Select this hamburger menu, come in here with this layer 1 selected hamburger menu, release to layers sequence. Okay, now what this did is all of these groups you had, it made them into separate layers. So now what you can do is you can select all of these groups, and so I selected the first, shift hold, select the last, and then drag it outside, and this layer 1 I can come in here and just delete it. So now you have all of these separate layers. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to firstly arrange this in such a way that where did all of that go, all of the grids. There was a grid here, it's lost. I somehow deleted that grid. That's okay, I can just come in here, Alt, duplicate this to bring it like here, and I'll cut this, and now I can come in here and paste it on this, and Control Shift left square bracket to send it back, and I can lock this layer. Okay, same, I can select this, Control X, come in here, Control Shift V, Control Shift left square bracket to send it back, and lock this layer. Select this, Control X, Control Shift V, paste in place, Control Shift left square bracket, send it back, and lock this layer. Control X, Control Shift V, Control Shift left square bracket, and lock. Just 4 more times. Bear with me here, it's a live stream, I cannot time lapse things. How is this here? Okay, arrangement issues. One last time. I'm going to select all these extra layers and delete them. Okay, so now I can unlock all these layers, and this is how this is what your starting point should be like, right? So we got an Illustrator file and we saw that there were all these clipping masks and everything, and we took them, and I guess we still have locks, so I can't. Control Shift left square bracket, Control Shift left square bracket, yes. So I placed it behind. It doesn't allow me to, yeah. Okay, good. So now we have things like these. However, I'm going to try doing that as well. I'm going to save this file, and now if you were to import this inside of After Effects, you will get your layers, right? So if I come into After Effects, let me just delete this. I'll go ahead, import, select this, footage, composition, detail, layer sizes, import. Now you have got your layers, right? You're going to illustrate into the composition, you have these, but what you have is all of these. Wait, let me just move this here. See what you have. Even though you have these layers, right, the way you had them, After Effects just for some reason appreciates that recognizes only one artboard, which is this particular artboard. So now this step that we did hadn't got anything much to do with the artboard itself. Now we're going to try and fix the artboard situation. So how do we fix the artboard situation? You have two options, my friend. Either what you can do is you can delete all of these artboards, make a very massive artboard, and then put everything there. That is one option, but I won't recommend that. What I would recommend is, this is the only way that is like the good way of doing it, is you save this Illustrator file, save as, Control-Shift-S to save as. Once this comes up, you want to save this as storyboard whatever _1, okay, and hit save. So when you hit save, you want to uncheck a few things here. Firstly, embed ICC profiles. Sometimes this causes issues with layers inside After Effects, so I just recommend uncheck this. And what is important is save each artboard to a separate file. So what this will do is, each of these artboards, which is, by the way, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 artboards, you will get 8 Illustrator files out of this, which is like every file will have one artboard. So you save this as okay. Actually, before we did that, what we wanted to do is, actually I'll just show it for one and then you can do it for all the others by yourself. So here what we have is, we have these artboards. Okay, this was the original one, this is 101. You want to open this 101. So now you have this here, and here what you have is a problem that all of these overlapping grids have also come in here. So I'm going to delete them and just keep one. Okay, so now once you're here, right, you also don't want to import this directly into After Effects. What you want to do is, you want to open this up as much as you can before you go into After Effects. So what you do is, you take all of this, Control A, say Control-Shift-G, Control-Shift-G. Don't, okay, so where do you stop, right? Let me go back again. I'm gonna undo. So we had this by default I said Control-Shift-G once, so I got a few groups and everything. But if with everything selected I do Control-Shift-G once more, if I'm getting like a mess, right, all of these singular paths, which I'm never going to be able to do this, you undo, right, you go one step back. So now this is a good spot where you have the lock. Let me come out. So you have the lock separate, you have the box separate, you have this text separate, you have this, and I'll come to the text part. You can't just convert it into text straight away into After Effects. So you have all of these things separate, and you can animate it the way you want inside After Effects. However, this is still not going to work inside After Effects. Let me show you. So if I save this, there's so many things you have to do. You save this, right, 101. I'm coming to After Effects, I'm going to delete this. So this clearly didn't work. I'm going to say 101, composition, retain layer sizes, import, right? You come in here. Okay, two things. Firstly, I'm going to re-import it again, so delete it. I'm going to re-import it, 101, composition, retain layer sizes. Okay, this is important. However, what is also important is, you see this option here, sequence options, Illustrator PD, uncheck this. I don't know why they've kept it. Just uncheck that, composition, retain layer size, import. So now you have your composition the way you want it, but you still are getting only one layer, right? You have your artboard, that single artboard, but you can't do anything with this. You can't even come in here, say right click, create shapes from vector layer. That's gonna be a massive, oh my god, no, don't. I feel like After Effects is gonna hang up. Skip. So you see, that's not a very sustainable way to do things, because there are so many groups and so many shapes that After Effects has to create from scratch, which doesn't make sense, right? Because we've already made them inside Illustrator. The design has already made it inside Illustrator. Why would you sit and make After Effects make them again? So here's how you fix it, right? You come in here, and before you throw everything, what you want to do is, again, that same thing that I showed in the beginning. You're gonna come in here, say you're gonna come in here, say release layers to layers sequence. Okay, now all of these are in the form of layers. You want to come in here, drag all of these layers out, and then delete this layer. Now one very good habit which you should get into is labeling these. So let's say this is lock, this is block, what is this? There are two parts of the grid, so I can select these, and this, I think this is the white solid. So white solid, I can group these, so I can select these, not this, and this, say Control G to group, that will be the grid. Just do yourself a favor, always label your layers. And then these are two text layers. I'm not labeling them because I know it's not going to work inside After Effects. So now I'm going to save this. I'm going to come into After Effects. I'm going to delete this. Double click to import 101 composition retain layer sizes. Make sure Illustrator PD EPS is unchecked and hit import. Now when you open this composition, you have everything. What happened? What? Did I not save? What? Why is all of this black? Ah, we didn't get the layers. Okay. What is up with this? Control Shift S, save as 1. Yeah, replace it. Can't save illustration. Okay. Wait. Import 101 as 2123 s 101 composition retain layer sizes. Import. Okay, that's a new problem. This shouldn't have happened. Let me save this as 101 underscore rev. Embed ICC profiles. I've unchecked this. Okay. My image type is what? RGB, CMYK? Yeah, it is RGB. So file, document setup, document color mode is RGB. So if I say rev now this is a new problem that I'm facing right now, so it's great to be able to troubleshoot this live, and it's still dark. So I think an easy solution here would be to just shut After Effects and start again, because not really importing anything there. Yeah, see, After Effects is not responding, so it's got something to do with After Effects has decided to not work today. Okay, so we'll have to take the help of the task manager gods here and kill After Effects out of existence. Import 1 rev composition retain layer sizes. Import. Yes, so that worked. So this is the kind of thing, right? By God's grace, I've been familiar with Illustrator, After Effects, Photoshop for so many projects, so many years now, that it doesn't, like, I don't feel very scared things don't work, even though this is live and it's kind of like with some butterflies in my stomach, it's not working. I can figure it out. It's such a relief. Anyway, now you have your layers the way you want them, right? Oh, okay. I'll show you one mistake that we've made. Anyway, this text layer I want to show, I'm going to delete this. Now, one more tip here, right? Even though this looks like this, what you just saw is that when you go into After Effects, right, when you have these layers, you are going to get only this much of the text of the shape, which is again is just a problem. So Shift O, you select this artboard and holding down Alt and picking on one of these and hold down Shift if you're not proportionately picking it up, and you make your artboard this big and then save it. Okay, so you come in here, import into After Effects, 101 rev, composition retain layer sizes, make sure this is unchecked, import, and now you have your artboard which is bigger, your composition which is bigger. But what you can always do is you can come in After Effects, Control K, and bring this down to 1920 by 1080. Right, okay, so now this lock will be here. So what you can do is you want to animate this, you can come in here, Shift Alt P, come on, like 1 second later you can come this, you can bring this here, then this can pop in. Just doing a very rough thing at the moment. Okay, you can do something like this, so this comes in and the lock pops up, and then this text, right, I'm going to show this. If this whole thing was made inside Photoshop instead of Illustrator, what you could do is you can come in here, you could come in and say create, convert to editable text, or do something with the text. But since it's not, the easiest way to work around that is select all of this text, Control C, come in here, take your text tool, make a new text layer, and pick Control V to paste. This will make the exact same font size and all your font properties, because at least one thing is Adobe respects the fact that this is coming from another Adobe sibling, right? So we might as well just do it this way. So now once you have it here like this, you can come in here and delete the other one. And then what you can do is, when this is a popping in, you can come in here and say what, you can say that it's animating like so, or whatever you want to animate. That's how you animate, or you bring in layers inside After Effects. Now sadly, that's the way these softwares work. You will have to do this for all of these layers. And again, for something like this, I'm going to show it to you for maybe this one, because it's a little more complex, right? How you should group it. So let me open this particular file. That's going to be the 2.1 if I'm not wrong. Yeah, the 2.1. Here it's not just as simple as ungrouping. You also want to make sure while you are in Illustrator, what are the things that you want to animate. So I'm going to select this, so Control 2, Control Shift GG, not so many times, just once. Delete these layers. Yeah, delete these layers. Now over here, right, what I've gotten is I've gotten all of this separate. So this, the way I think is I would have all of these animating, right? So what I would want to do is ideally have Control Shift G once. So this is separate, yes, correct. This is separate, this is separate, this is separate. Yeah, so now all of these are separate. What you can do is all of these dead layers I'm going to delete. So when these are all separate like that, was this here by default? I think it's like that kind of package animation. Anyway, so once you have done this, again you want to come in here with this layer selected, release to layers sequence, and select all of these, bring it out. Okay, and one final step, like here you don't need to do that because nothing is going outside the bounds, but again this is a little bit of a thing that you want to get used to, is make sure that nothing is outside of my bounds, because inside of After Effects you can always rescale your composition to whatever you want. So now with this you want to come into After Effects, always have organization. This is a very bad way to do things, but I'm doing it for the sake of live stream, because again every time you pick a new artboard it just automatically ticks this, right? And once this is ticked, you're gonna get like weird things in your layers instead of the way you're expecting them. So make sure you untick it every time. And now you come in here, Control K, 1920, and there you go. For some reason we did not get this solid, so I'm going to make a new solid and place it at the bottom. And now you can come in here and you have all of these paths. Now that's the thing, you can come and take this path, create shape from vector layer, so that will be useful a little bit. And delete this and have that animate. Maybe you could add trim paths to it, so we say add trim paths, animate. Oh my god, no, this too, that's a problem, right? That's a problem. You will have to recreate these lines from scratch. That is for another tutorial. 28 minutes into the stream. Anyway, now you animated the way you want to. So one final thing I want to show is, what if I don't want to go through all of this hassle and I wanted to do this through the second way, which I said was the smarter way, but it's through a paid add-on plugin called Overlord. So you see this thing here, Overlord, that's from BattleAxe. It's a very cheap plugin. I don't know how much, it's like maybe $30, but it's a one-time pay, and it's absolutely necessary for projects like these where you have explainers and you're giving Illustrator files and stuff. So this was my original file, remember, where all of the artboards are intact the way they should be. So I ungroup a few times, maybe 2 times, and I get to this point. Now what I can do is, instead of having to, you know, do all of that thing that I did, actually I can group this. So now this is grouped and this is grouped, right? All I can do is I can come in here, and with a few options here you want to check. So with this artwork selected, these 4 options are important. So first one is split shapes to layers. In this case we've already done the splitting ourselves, so we don't want to split this into layers separately. Center anchor point, I like to do this center anchor point. The third one here is delete whatever, don't check that. layers at com center. Not really, I want the layers to be at the position where they are. So with just this selected, you're gonna come here and press this button, and overlord is gonna do its magic, and boom, you have your layer here. And what is amazing about this is it's not like an Illustrator layer which you have to then right click and then create shapes from. It's already done the create shapes for you. Okay, that's that. And you can come in here, select the lock, throw it into overlord. So this is the thing overlord does, is it will, when you hit overlord button, it will always start the newest version of After Effects for some reason. So now you have this here, right? And you can come in here, you can also take these text. If I select both of these and then see, that's what this shape, convert shape to layers does. So I select both of these and send them. Yeah, it makes two. Oh, this is also amazing about overlord, is you don't need to then manually make the text as well, because it's actually making text layers for you. So it also saves that extra step where you're copying and pasting text, because Illustrator text won't work the way it should, right? So that's your one composition. You can come in here, say Control Shift C, say maybe slate 1 or something. Okay, that's your first slate. And then this is looking a bit different because I've messed with them, so hide AV features. Now once you've done that, you can come in here. This is a bit too complex, I'm going to take something simpler. Control Shift G a couple of times. Now this isn't the same, right? We haven't done any done any artboard messing up or anything. And I'll just delete this also I'm going to delete, because this is one thing, right? When you're doing it in this manner, all of these grid and all these things, you're going to use it once and then have it like loop or something in the background. You don't need for all the artboards, all the compositions, which is also great. So select this, you throw it into overlord. So you have this here, select this. I'm going to just take After Effects 2025 and throw it on the other screen, because it'll just keep popping up every time I use overlord. So I'm going to take this and throw it into After Effects. So we have this here. And what else? We have this shape and overload it. So like very easily we have recreated this, and you can come in here and say Control Shift C to make it a slate 2. And so this way you go about creating your slates, and then you animate it the way you have to animate it, without having to go through all of the vanilla stuff that I told you. But if you want to do it the vanilla way and not use overlord, I've showed you the way to do that. 33 minutes, but I don't think any of this, like 33 minutes, was wasted. I've tried to give away as much as I possibly could. Now important documentation, coming to the actual in the code segment here. The last time I documented here was, I don't know when, Friday I believe. I don't know, you'll have to check. Yeah, I guess Friday. And if you remember, what we were doing is we were trying to make a Mogart for Premiere Pro, which would be a text animated Mogart, and everything is inside it, and it's supposed to be a very, very useful Mogart. And on Saturday afternoon, I had this like edge, I got to the edge of burning out because of this. And I remember sitting here at this very desk, because where else will I go? And I'm thinking to myself, man, I've taken 2 weeks of leave from the job. This is supposed to rest and relax and rejuvenate of sorts, and what am I doing to myself? And there was such an intense feeling that I did not do anything for the rest of Saturday. I didn't do anything on the Mogart on Sunday, and I didn't work on it yesterday as well. It's just resting and just chilling, if you want to call it that. And there's one thing I've been realizing, it's how hard it is for me to just not work on anything, right? This reminds me of Casey Neistat. When he ended his daily vlog, he immediately started 368. And I also saw one of his videos where he talks about this exact problem, where he should have taken a break and relaxed, but he started this new venture called 368, because there is something innately in us, I'm putting me and Casey in the same bucket here, that we cannot not work. And that's great. Like incessant work, karma, is probably what we're supposed to be doing, right? But it's like it's a thin rope, to balance walking on that rope. So that's something I'm learning, right? How can I just stay all day long and not think about, I have to start Vidhara, I have to make these Mogarts, and I have to, for what? You stop to think about all of this. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it'll be great if like a year from now I've uploaded so many videos and I have an audience and people listening, and it's not like 0 concurrent viewers, 0 chat rate, 0 views. There are people actually waiting for stuff. That's all great, but at the cost of what, right? I want to be enjoying every single moment of life while I'm working so hard, right? I don't want it to become a burden. I don't want to burn out doing this. So that's like something that I've been trying to figure and learn and implement myself. So just been reading, and the Mogurt is like I got super depressed. The first two tests that I did, it did not work at all. Every time I was using it, I was like, it's much easier to just go inside After Effects and do the text animations. So I don't know where that Mogurt is gonna go. I don't know where the launch of Vidara is gonna go. I just don't know. All I know is that I'm tired. And even this live stream, right? I wasn't supposed to be doing it, but in the evening today, as I was just passing the day out, relaxing, I got a message from my teammate Prathamesh, and it's like, I've got this project. I don't know why aren't the layers coming inside After Effects, and so that like just provoked this entire live stream, if you want to call it. So I hope this is something that you find useful, and I'm gonna work on making a thumbnail. Should I work on the thumbnail now? We have 35 minutes. Let's say if in the next 5 minutes we can make a thumbnail. A good enough thumbnail should be a good wrap to this session, and then we will proceed. Excellent. Oh dear. Okay, 920 1080. So the title of the stream is why don't Illustrator Artboard layers show up in After Effects. So I need screenshots. So I'm gonna come in here, I'm gonna delete everything, import. Where was the first one? So I could either use this box, or the better one would be import as composition, right? Yeah, I want to show this. Where was that one layer? Because right now it does have these separate layers. Did I not save that? Storyboard, date modified. The first one is this. Let me just download the original one once again, just for the sake of the thumbnail, which is how we had gotten it originally. And import this composition, layer size. Okay, yeah, so I want to use something like this. So maybe I bring this, or if I come in here. So getting the thumbnail right is going to be a little tricky, because I want to capture the essence, the frustration of not having your layers. But how do I show it in the best possible way so that it's actually even making sense as a thumbnail? Because I've been learning a lot about thumbnails. One thing I know is I'm going to make a split, right? So don't do this, do this instead. So okay, let's just throw things inside Photoshop. I'm going to take a screenshot here. Shapak! This is all what you don't want to be happening. A lot of unnecessary things here, but okay. And I want to show a little bit of what the timeline is looking like. So maybe I do this. This is the thing, right? Because you can either communicate what exactly your video is about, or you can make it like clickable enough, something like that. You can do both, or maybe you can. We'll figure. Should we bring it here? Bring this up. Sizing something I'll worry about later, right? It's gonna come here. Now I'm gonna delete, or maybe not delete it, or maybe yes, delete it, or maybe not delete it, just put it in a different folder. So the other one is the things that I've worked on. So let's say this. Okay. And I would also need this. So I'm gonna take this So this is the after. I'm gonna come in here, shapak, paste it here, and delete this to tweak a lot of this, and then take this here. I don't really know if I'm gonna capture the essence with what I'm trying to do here, but let's see, let's hope that we do. So now I'm gonna bring this at the top here. This is what I'm gonna show. So can come in here, and there's a lot of negative space here which can delete. Now take this up, merge this. So we have this here. In this one I basically don't need this, and I say I drop this or delete. I think this is a good enough thing where you can see, right? I don't need to show all of these shies and everything and come in here, delete it. Or maybe maybe what I could do is because I don't want to show the exact interface as well, right? Over here I'm gonna all delete. Oh god, no. It's fine, I can come in here and delete this. What we've, oh god, we've hit 8 minutes. It's fine. Okay. Let me just work one thing at a time. I'm going to hide these. So I'm going from here to here. This is what I'm going to show. So you've got these two, right? I'm trying to show the difference. Can we do it another way? Like we could either show this. It's hard to convey all of what I want to convey, man. That's a constant struggle. Do we need to show all of these things at the top of the project and everything? Yeah, do we even need to show the timeline is what I'm thinking. Can I just thinking, can I just do this? And it's because a good thumbnail is what I've learned is just an art of elimination, right? How much can you eliminate and still convey your point across? So this is wrong, like this is correct. So this. and it has the word artboard in the layers and everything, so that is good. I mean, I can add a, yeah, the solid behind. It's looking so terrible. Oh no, 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 no. Wait. Something like that. This is to work with. We'll figure that later. So libraries, libraries, libraries. Why is all of this? I need Illustrator and After Effects both, but they're kind of there anyway. So I just need After Effects then. I have no idea what I'm doing. This is so bad. I'm going to my artwork and this is wrong. And this is correct. So come up until here. Now how do I make it a little not ugly, man? And also this is not really conveying anything that I want to. So do I take help of the timeline now? So this is my timeline, because I want to in a subtle way show the timeline as well, because that's important. So if I make this like here, Control Shift I and delete, so I have this here, and this my other timeline is here. It's the hardest part, man. Making the thumbnail is so hard. This is such an ugly thumbnail. What do I do? 47. It's fine, there's not so much a time constraint, but like I don't know what to do. Like, how do I make this a good thumbnail? So here, now from here I have to think in terms of elimination, right? Yeah, I'll make a new file, because what I'm thinking is, if this is the only thing that conveys what I want to convey, I come in here, right? I do this and I do this. Would we still have it in our clipboard? Yeah, we do. What? What are we pasting here? I don't know. So this is correct, right? Wait, let me just delete this. Go into After Effects. This is wrong, so I'll bring this here. A little longer, like 6 seconds. I'll come in here. Ah no. अबे क्या? So this is wrong. Okay, I'm gonna come in here. This is correct. I just leave it the way this is. So from here, because this is like too much happening, I have no idea what it is about. I've taken a little bit of liberty. I'm like, man, this is wrong, this is right. And what I could probably do is to make this a little more apparent. Say Illustrator to After Effects. We don't have a good arrow, man. Such a shame. My library doesn't have a good arrow. Shit. Where's Illustrator? Object, expand. Oh wait, you can't. What happens if I send this as a smart object? Then I can't add stroke after the fact. Yeah, that's just ruining it. These two layers. You go. Let's just remove this. So I'm settling with this, and why do I have these here? Right? Does this make no sense? I start off with something like this. It's my eye to see it. Settling with something like this. I need the word artboard somewhere. So in the code we're doing Roboto, right? Roboto, one take Roboto black, and yeah, properties. Oh god, where is all of the other ones? Capital text, no. Artboards into can I make this a black italic? Artboards into and stay black. About artboards into this can go a little down. Can add more spaces, and now did we just remove them? Why do we delete? No, we haven't deleted. So this here, yeah, this is coming together, I guess. A little more space. Import Illustrator Artboards into After Effects. And use my favorite highlighter. or now here is where you simplify this, right? So you just say, you know what, I'm gonna just keep artboards. So Illustrator Artboards. It's like a real fun process to figure it out. Like, I enjoy it. So Illustrator Artboards, and what I can do is because you want to look at the thumbnail from here, so Illustrator Artboards. Artboards is my main keyword here. 55 minutes. Okay, here I'm gonna give this a color overlay. We're gonna take this or this, or actually we could take the After Effects. Can I make it even bigger? These are calls you have to take, like not design wise, but because people see in your thumbnail like this, so the bigger they are the better. Okay, we have to settle, we're hitting 1 hour, so that's it for today's very long documentation, a very accidental stream, but thank you so much for being in the code. I'll catch you in the next session whenever that happens. By God's grace, we'll be here documenting live from in the code. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.